I would like to first of all welcome everyone and greetings to all the students. I am Sunil and will be the host for this session. I am from Tata Consultancy Services. I lead TCS Maitri team, which is an HR, one of the HR functions in the TCS. So let's talk about the city of Pune. Pune is, the eighth largest city in India, and it's one of the fastest growing urban cluster in the country. But it has struggled with managing its waste over the years. Pune, being a smart city, aims to keep the city clean and pollution free by managing the rapidly growing waste and keeping the waste disposal process environment friendly. However, the growing expansion of waste generation, irresponsible dumping, and burning have become major concern in Pune. So to explain just the magnitude of this problem, Pune generates, I don't know how many of you know that it generates about 2,000 ton of garbage every day. And as per the PMC report, they are able to handle about 1,200 tons of the garbage. So rest of the garbage, it's going to the landfill. So you know how big the problem is. So focusing on such areas, TCS in June 2021, they made an announcement that we will be net carbon neutral by 2030. So leading by the example, TCS Pune plans to encourage its surrounding ecosystem to move in this direction and become future ready. TCS Sustainathon Pune 2021 is be the concrete step in this direction and towards solving the city's waste management and the challenges. We look forward to young and energetic participants of this event to help us combat the challenges and drive the carbon neutrality agenda of our city and the country. So, by the time we start, let me just brief the today's agenda, and if you could highlight the yeah, thanks, Pooja. So this is going to be the agenda. Uh, this is the TCS Sustainathon overview. It will be taken by Mr. Jagdish Chaudhary. And we'll have overview of challenge statements by Jagdish. We'll have next steps on Sustainathon portal where Pooja will be explaining the technical details, how you can go and submit your entries and all details, technical details that Pooja will be taking you through. Then submission and guidelines, Pooja will be there. And then in the end, we'll have question and answer rounds. So without any further delay,
Sunil, you can switch off your video.
So no worries, I will be taking it through and we'll wait for Sunil to rejoin maybe. All right, so we will begin with the question answer round at 9:25. So all of you, we are sure that you have many queries. Please be ready with your questions and we'll try to address as many as we can. All right, and before we begin, just a friendly reminder that you all are already muted and thank you for that. And please do not interrupt the speakers with irrelevant questions and please maintain the dignity of the forum and ask questions concisely using the chat options. We have kept the chat option open, but please ensure that you maintain the dignity. All right, and all queries will be addressed in the question answer round. So please be patient with us when we begin the question answer round. All right, so with this, I hand it over to Jagdish Chaudhary to take us through the Sustainathon overview. Over to you, Jagdish.
Yeah, thank you, Pooja, and good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to this session. And I'll just provide you a very quick overview of Sustainathon. As such, we want to focus more on the actual process of submitting your applications. So I will be very brief. See, this Sustainathon is a initiative to involve the youth into societal problems, as Sunil was mentioning, and tap their creativity to provide solutions to the challenges faced by the community. This is a global event, and what we plan is to conduct such sustainathons across different cities across the globe. The first one was done in Singapore last year, and now we are doing the second event here in Pune this year. And many more events will follow. In fact, we might have uh, more events every year, not just a single event. So that is the plan. We launched this event informally on 29th June, and it was formally inaugurated on 15th August at the hands of eminent scientist Dr. Raghunath Mashelkar. The theme for this event is waste management, as you are all aware. And we have closed the registrations on 7th of September. So just 2 days back, the registrations have been closed. We have, thanks to support from all of you, we have received a lot of registrations, and now we are into the submission phase. So this webinar is specifically being conducted for addressing your queries regarding the submissions and help you to do your best in giving your making your submissions. The submissions will end on 20th of September, post which the evaluation phase will start. So we have almost a month to evaluate your ideas. There are different phases in the evaluation. And then on 23rd of October, we will do the finale where the winners will be announced. Next slide, please. So the whole idea is that whatever ideas and posters, see, from college students, UG, PG students, we are going to get ideas, and from school students, we are going to get posters. So all the posters which we received in the round one, we will shortlist them, and the output of round one would be 100 ideas and 50 posters. After that, all these 100 ideas and 50 posters will go through an offline evaluation, and the jury will provide, the evaluation committee will provide feedback for all the ideas. And out of this output of this exercise will be 24 ideas and 12 posters. Now these will go through an interactive evaluation. So these people, the 36 ideas and posters, will be presenting to the evaluation committee, and this will be kind of a semi-final. And after this, the output would be that 6 ideas and 4 posters will be shortlisted for the finale, and they would be mentored to make their presentations effectively to a high-profile jury on 23rd October, out of which we will announce winners and runners. Next slide, please. So the total cash prizes which we are going to give is around 1 lakh rupees for the school category, 50,000 for the winning team, rupees 25,000 for the first runner-up, 15,000 for the second runner-up. There's one consolation prize of 10,000 rupees for the remaining team. So if you notice, there are 4 posters which will go to the finale, and all the 4 posters will get some kind of a prize on the day of finale. So that we have ensured. The institute which has maximum participation, we have kept a special prize. Also, all the shortlisted teams will get certificate of participation. So it will be a digital certificate, and then of course all of you would have opportunity to interact with industry leaders and subject matter experts, so which will sort of enhance your skills and insights overall. Next slide, please. So as you are all aware, we have one single challenge for the school category, which is my waste, my responsibility. So basically the whole idea is that you create awareness in the society, in the community, that and sensitize them about the huge challenge of waste management, and encourage them to sort of take ownership of their own waste. So they should act responsibly and take care of their own waste, minimize their consumption, and behave like responsible citizens. So they should not burn plastics, they should not throw garbage in the river. So those things we need to sort of cultivate in our community, that sort of a behavior. And that can, the first step towards that is creating awareness. So the whole idea in the challenge which is given to you is to create your idea, then translate that idea into nice poster which will spread the awareness about waste management. So this is the challenge. This is the single challenge for schools. We have kept it very simple and straightforward for the schools. In the college section, there are multiple challenges. You can see those on the website. So, I'll hand it over to Pooja. Over to you, Pooja.
Yeah. Thank you, Jagdish. Sunil here again. So thanks a lot for all this information. And now I would like to welcome Pooja that she can take students through the portal and the submission guidelines.
Okay, thank you, Sunil. So let me take you all through the website, and I welcome again to all the students, and thank you for showing your interest in TCS Sustainathon. And I hope by now you all have gone through this website thoroughly. All right, and you might have clicked on this participate button to register yourself. But just a reminder that with this participate button, you have only signed up for the portal. All right, and you can also refer our detailed FAQs over here. The FAQ that is mentioned on the top right, they have limited questions, but the FAQ that is present on the left side, they have a detailed question. So I request all the students to kindly go through this FAQ document if you have not. And now we have closed the registrations. And the next step is that the students who have not formed the teams, all right, or if you know any friend, any of your friends or classmates who has registered for this event but has not applied for the challenge or formed a team, we request them to just form the team and apply for the challenge. That is my response. And the submission will close on 20th of September, like Jyotish already mentioned. All right. So now let me quickly go through the Sustainathon student portal. So I hope when you log in into the portal, you see this website, this page. All right. And you might have already applied for the challenge. All right. So what you need to do is just click on the submit button. And once you do that, you will be taken through this page. And over
Pooja,
here, you have.
Pooja, sorry to interrupt. Are you sharing your browser as well? It's just the slide is visible right now.
All right. Yeah. Thank you, Sunil. I'll just quickly share that again. Yeah, I hope my browser is now visible.
Yes.
All right, thank you. I'm sorry, sorry, I wasn't, aware that the screen is not visible. So I'll just quickly go through this website. You all have already gone through the website. The FAQ on the right has limited questions, but the FAQ on the left-hand side over here has a detailed document of all the questions. Please go through it. And as you already see that registrations have closed, and on 20th of September, the submission will be closing. So if you click on the student portal, you will go through this page, okay? And you have already applied for the challenge. So for next step, you need to click on the submit button. Once you click on the submit button, you are taken on this page, okay? And at the left hand side, as you can see, there is a submission guideline, okay? And at the bottom, there is a detailed description of of the challenge that you have chosen. So please go through this detailed question, detailed statement. You will get a lot of ideas of what you need to work on and what solution you need to provide. If not, kindly do it right away. And the submission guideline that is mentioned on the left, that is a very important document that you need to refer before submitting your idea. So over here we have created a brief slide of what your presentation should look like. Okay. And before we begin, I just want to mention that there are instructions already present in this slide, but also I'll go through this after the next step, I will also go through this on our presentation. So what does your slide need to contain? Okay, what your presentation should have. So first is your poster. Of course, it's a poster competition. So it can be either a digital poster or it can be a handmade poster. If it is a handmade poster, then it should be complete, and whatever you are mentioning, any text that you are mentioning, it should be very clear. Okay, it should not be very small that it is not readable. So please ensure that it is readable, and you need to take a picture of it, of the handmade poster, and you need to put it on your slide. That would be your first slide of your presentation. Okay, and if it is a digital poster, you can create flowcharts, etc. And you, but just ensure that you do not copy paste images from Google, all right, because it can lead to copyright violations. So you need to create your own ideas. You need to create your own icons, and you can either have a combination of digital and a handmade poster as well. That is also invited. All right. And in the second slide, you need to put your team details and member details. Your team name should also be should be visible. The third slide should have a challenge description, like what challenge have you taken, and why do you think it is a problem in the society, and why it leads to waste management problems that our Pune city is facing. And the fourth slide should be the impact of your idea. So your idea that you are working on, it should be reflected on your poster. It's not your poster shouldn't be just a drawing of mere ideas, of just a few things and text or images, a combination of text and images. However, it should be a combination of ideas. It should reflect your thought process and lead to the solution that you want to give to us and Pune city to solve the waste management challenges. I hope that is very clear with you all. If not, you can just put it on the chat box if it's not clear. And then it should be unique. Please do not use a poster which was submitted to any of the earlier events, be it your school competition or a society competition or any other competition where you have already submitted it. And ideas conveyed in the poster should be scalable enough that it can be replicated in other cities or other parts of the world, or it should not, or it can be applicable to a generic waste management challenge as well, problem as well. And it should be eco-friendly. That is, if you are creating a handmade poster, please ensure that you do not generate more waste and you try to use best out of waste items as much as possible. And your submission should be in the form of a PPT. All right, but now since we got this queries by many students, the problem that was faced by the students was they do not have a licensed version of MS Office. So do not worry, you can use Google Documents or etc. That is, open software that is available on the internet, and you can create a slide and you can convert it into PDF as well and upload it. So just ensure that there is no other format. Even though the portal allows you to submit it either in the form of a presentation, any forms. I'll just quickly go through. You click on the submit idea, okay, and this is where you have to submit. So once you're here on the screen, over here you see the submit idea. So you just click on this, okay, and then you have all the criterias on which we will evaluate your ideas. That is, it should be innovative, your poster and your thought process, your ideas should be innovative and creative, should have an impact, should be feasible enough, and your presentation skills. And so if you click on this idea, like you can see, we have already tried to click uh, test. We had uploaded a test file over here, but do not worry. So over here, you will see a blank tab and a submit button over here. And at the bottom, they would mention all different kinds of formats, that is PDF, GPNG, RTF, document, docx, etc. Do not, be under the assumption that we are open for all. We are just. It would be good that if you stick to the guidelines and you submit your idea in the form of a presentation or in the form of a PPT. Sorry, PDF. Okay. So like I have already mentioned that these are the 4 slides. You can have few more slides if you want to convey your thought, articulate your thoughts in a better way. So you are free to do so, but please limit it to a number which is less than 10. Okay. and then it should have a poster, your team details, your challenge, and why do you think it is a challenge, and the impact. Okay, so all the detailed description of the poster, how it should be, are already mentioned in the slide, and I'll also go through in the presentation. So you can go through this slide, team details, what's your team, and who are the team members, challenge description, how big is the challenge or problem, who is getting impacted with the problem, why is the problem or challenge important for you and others, okay, and impact. And over here you can see we have also mentioned the evaluation criteria. All right, so I will just quickly toggle between my screen. Just bear with me. Yes, so I hope my presentation is visible to all.
Yeah, Pooja, it is visible.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So
So,
thanks a lot, Pooja. Are you done with the explanation?
no, I just have a few slides to show. Just give me a couple of
Yeah.
minutes. All right, yeah,
Yes.
thank you. So, so what do you need to do as a first step? You need to create your idea. Okay, you can take a picture, you can take a chart paper, you can draw your ideas, what you need to solutions around it. All right, and then you have to present your idea in the form of a picture. Then, if it is not a digital picture poster, then you can create it manually or you can do it digitally and convert the manual picture into a digital image. That is, you have to click the picture and please ensure that it is a very clear and readable image. And the first slide that I had already mentioned, the first slide of the presentation should be the picture that you have, either a digital picture or the manual picture, handmade picture of the poster, which reflects your idea and solution. All right, and the submission rules and guidelines is I have already mentioned all the above that you need to take care of. And just one point, that all the shortlisted team will be notified via their registered email IDs after 25th of September. So here are some of the best practices that please add your poster in a slide, in a separate slide. Okay, and do not mention all the details except your other details below the poster, either digital or handmade poster. The picture should be clear and complete. The poster should present a creative solution to address the problem statement. If there is any text used in the poster, the text should be clear and visible. Students should not create collage. Please keep this point in mind, that it should not be in the form of a collage. All right, and it is important that students give a name to their solution. All right, apart from your team. And avoid mentioning your team names or member details on the poster. You can put these details in your second slide. All right. So thank you, everyone. Over to you, Sunil.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Pooja. So there are a lot of questions in the chat box, and we will have Manoj Joshi and Preeti Shinde who will be moderating the Q&A round. So students will be try to address all the questions that you have mentioned in the chat box. And if you go through the website and if you read FAQ, you'll find most of the answers there. However, we'll still try to answer most of the question. If you do not find your answers, you can always write to pune.sustainathon, the email ID that mentioned in the previous slide. Pooja, if you can show that again, or type in the chat box, that would help. So we'll start with the question answer round, and some of the questions I'll try to address.
Nice, Sunil,
Yeah.
just one.
Yeah, Jagdish.
Just now whatever Pooja mentioned, let me take a minute to repeat it in Hindi.
Yes.
तो ये जो अभी पूजा ने डिस्क्राइब किया है वो मैं हिंदी में क्विकली बताता हूँ। ये देखिए, आपको अपना आइडिया क्रिएट करना है। आइडिया क्रिएट करके उसको एक पिक्चर के फॉर्म में ट्रांसलेट करना है, रिप्रेजेंट करना है, और वो आप फिर हाथ से मैन्युअली आप उसको उतार सकते हो, वो पिक्चर बना सकते हो इको फ्रेंडली पेपर पे, हैंडमेड पेपर पे, या आप डिजिटली वो पिक्चर बना सकते हो। अगर आपने मैन्युअली बनाया है तो उसका फोटो खींचना है और वो फोटो आपको पहले स्लाइड पे डालना है। तो पहला स्लाइड जो है आपका वो है पोस्टर, दूसरा स्लाइड है आपका टीम का डिटेल्स। तो पहले पोस्टर में आपको और कोई डिटेल देना नहीं है। आपके 4 स्लाइड होंगे, पहले इसमें पोस्टर होगा, दूसरे इसमें टीम के नाम वगैरह हो गए, और तीसरे इसमें चैलेंज के डिटेल होंगे, और चौथे इसमें इम्पैक्ट होगा। तो वो ये टेम्पलेट दी हुई है, आप आराम से जो वेबसाइट पे गाइडलाइंस है उसको आराम से पढ़िए, और उसके बाद उस पे काम करिए, सबमिशन पे जल्दबाजी ना करें। और अभी ये जो सवाल पूछने हैं आप, बेसिकली ये सब हमारा मीडियम, ये इनिशिएटिव का इंग्लिश में ही है, तो आपको जो सबमिट करना है वो सब इंग्लिश में ही करना है। लेकिन अगर आपको अभी कुछ सवाल पूछने में अगर इंग्लिश का प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है, तो आप हिंदी या मराठी में भी आपके सवाल पूछ सकते हैं। ओवर टू यू सुनील।
या थैंक्स अलॉट जगदीश। जैसा कि जगदीश ने बोला कि आप हिंदी मराठी में भी चैट बॉक्स में अपने क्वेश्चन आंसर लिख सकते हैं। I'll try to present few questions from students, and Manoj, Preeti, if you can address them. So one of the students has asked that they want to add participants after registering in the team, then how? So I think this has already been addressed by Pooja. If you go to the portal and if you have registered already, there is an option called, when you click on apply, it asks to register your team member's name, right? And if team member is already registered, you can make team with that person. So that has already been addressed by Pooja. Right, and regarding the prize details, that has already been addressed by Jagdish. The consolation prizes, everything. What should be the maximum slides should be there in the PPT? Pooja, do you have any guideline about that? The maximum number of slides?
Yeah, Sunil, they can submit less than 10 slides. Okay, like you have mentioned, the slides should be 4, as already shown on the submission guidelines. But if they want to add more details, they can make it, but to a maximum limit of 10. And also regarding the first question, Sunil, the teams after registration. So as we have already mentioned in the FAQ, that if you have registered as a team, you may not be able to change your team details. Okay, but still, if you have any genuine reason, please write to us at Pune.Sustainathon, and we will connect with our technical team to see if there is any possibility. However, we cannot commit at this point of time if you can modify your team. And same goes for your submissions. So your first submission is your last submission. So please be 100% sure before submitting your idea that that if it is good to go, and it should not be you come to us at a later point of time to resubmit. It will not be allowed. So you have ample amount of time, around 11 days. So good luck with that. Thank you.
Okay, so Pooja, do you want me to start with the Q&A section, or is there anything more that needs to be
Yeah.
addressed?
Yes, Preeti, you can go ahead.
Yeah, we have few questions here.
Okay.
I have the list, so I'll just go through them, and if you feel you all can answer, please go ahead.
Yeah.
So
Actually, Sunil, there is a few questions that just came up at the start when we started with the sessions. And two questions were regarding the prizes. So I would like to, if we can close those two questions first. One was, so what do you mean by consolation prizes? And what are the prizes for the students who win?
yeah, so that has already been addressed by Jagdish. If you see the slide, that has already been addressed, Preeti.
Yes. So, Pooja, can you go back to the slide once? It was a question that was asked during the slides. Students, please refer the slides once. Okay. And I hope so everybody is aware of the meaning of consolation. Okay. Yes. Superb. Okay, we can go ahead.
Okay, so we have a few questions that can they make a PPT or they have to make poster. So I think this has already been addressed, right? If it is poster, you can click the picture and you can put into PPT, or if it's a digital, you can have already in PPT. Do school students only need to make posters or bring up the solution to waste management problem?
So Sunil, this is the question that has come multiple times, and
Yeah.
I guess we have already answered this particular part. That students need to ensure that they provide a solution to the challenge statement that has been provided for which they have applied to. Okay, so it can be a genuine idea, or it can be maybe a solution that can be implementable. It can be a device, it can be a software solution, it can be a way by which means you can reduce the impact of waste within Pune city. So I would like to reiterate one point over here is that this event we are looking at for Pune city, and we are trying to reduce down the waste management challenge that Pune city is facing. And the posters that you are going to present, or the posters that you are going to make, should give some solution on any of or multiple aspects of waste management which can be addressed for particularly for Pune city. I hope that answers the question, because that was a very frequent and very I would say multiple questions came upon that particular aspect.
Yeah,
Also,
Manoj, I want to add to that.
yes, Jagdish.
Uh, See, the more than the solutions, uh, in your case, if a school students, you have to give ideas as to how you will create awareness about waste management. Innovative ideas for creating awareness and sensitizing the citizens about waste management, so that they start thinking that my waste is my responsibility. So that is the challenge given to school students. So you have to make interesting posters which will I will give you one example. One example is, we create paintings on the walls along the footpath, to where you tell people don't throw waste, don't litter, like that. So that is one innovative idea of spreading the message. Now this idea has to be translated into a picture. So you can make such a picture on a wall, and somebody is putting something like that. Similar ideas you have to create, and those have to be shared. Over to you, man.
Thanks. Yeah, thanks, Jagdish. So we had couple of questions. I'll try to merge all of them into one so that it can be addressed at once. So the question was that whether what should be the size of the file, what should be the size of the poster in the PPT, the pixel size students asking, and if it is a handmade poster, what should be its size, and also if they can merge any link into the PPT instead of directly the poster. So Pooja, I think you are the best person to answer these questions.
Yes. So Sunil, I have already answered them in the chat. So there is a no slice limit uh, or dimension limit either of handmade poster or a digital poster. But just ensure that if you insert it into your presentation, it should be readable enough. Even if we have to zoom the image, so it should be clear and readable and visible. Okay. And to answer the second question, that see, if you are sourcing your poster or any icon, then you can insert a link, but it should be at the last slide. You cannot insert a link in your digital poster. Please keep that in mind, because it is someone else's idea. It is someone else's work. It is not your work. You need to understand. You can either Google what does copyright mean. All right, if you're not aware of it.
Okay, and there's one very good question asked by a student that do they need to provide the solution to the problem, or do they need to spread the awareness about the problem? So this is a pretty complicated thing. Puja.
So Sunil, I guess that part Jagdish has already explained with an example in the earlier response. So they have to create awareness through their posters.
Yeah, you have to create awareness. Now here it is as Sunil mentioned, it's a slightly complex in the sense that, see, if you feel that giving a solution is going to create awareness, it's your call. But end output has to be, it has to create awareness.
Okay, that I think that helps, Jagdish. Then next question is, how can we check if the picture is copyrighted or not? I think this is about the digital posters, Pooja.
Yes, so Sunil, I have also answered that in the chat that almost 90% of the images that are available on Google are copyrighted. All right. So to avoid any copyright issue or scam, just create your own image. Either it can be form of a digital image that you can use different icons available in the PPT features of the PPT, or you can create a handmade poster and you can click an image and put it in your digital poster. Or also,
Yeah,
if you're
just
100% sure, yeah, if you're
yeah,
100% sure that it is not a copyrighted image, please source it at the last slide. And also, you can take help of apps like Canva, etc., where you can find non-copyrighted images. Thank you. Jagdish, I'm sorry, you were saying
yeah,
something.
yeah, no problem. So the thing was, if you are not sure about this copyright thing, the safest thing you can do is to create your own poster, either digitally or manually. You draw your own poster and submit it, rather than copying it from anywhere else. If you are very clear about what is copyright, then you can take the liberty of using other images.
So, students, I guess this is a common question which everybody is thinking that if not Google, where to take the pictures from. So please understand, you can unleash your creativity. You have a lot of ideas in your mind. You have to put down those ideas, whatever thought process you have, you can put it down on the poster. So in that case, you need not refer to any material, any other material as such, that will make your poster unique and it will stand out also. Okay.
Okay, and a few students have asked that they were confused that whether all the participants has to submit the idea or as a team. So I think that as a team you have to submit the idea. Not all students need to submit. One person as a team they can submit.
Yeah,
And
this is
Pooja,
a,
yeah,
sorry,
yeah.
Sunil. This is a team event. Please note that this is a team event. So whatever submissions are on behalf of the team. So one of the team members makes the submissions on behalf of the team. So it is essentially a team event.
Yeah.
Students also
And
realize that there is a lot of work that is going to happen in the team also when you all are working together. What should be the solution, how the ideas should come in. So you all can work in the team and contribute effectively in one team, be it in the handmade poster or in the digital poster.
and
So there is a frequent question coming up upon how the students can see the submission guidelines or FAQs. So for them, it is available on the website. Once you log into the website, Pune.Sustainathon, you can go to the FAQ section. So Pooja, can you just showcase that page again, please? Yeah, so this TCS Sustainathon page, you can see the FAQs that are a part of this website, frequently asked question and the submission guidelines. So frequently asked questions will answer most of your queries, and submission guidelines will give you a guideline on how the presentation should be made, what should be the first slide, second slide, what all details should be there, part of your slides, do's and don'ts. So we would suggest you go through that first before you make your final presentation or the final submission, and ensure that you have your presentation made as per the guidelines that we have provided.
Yeah, thanks, Manoj. So, if there are any, specific questions or technical issues that you faced, maybe you can always write to pune.sustainathon@tcs.com. And Pooja, one of the students have asked that they want to change the team name. Is it possible, or it's only one time thing?
Yeah, so Sunil, I have already mentioned that any modifications in the team, be it your addition or deletion of a team member or changing your team name, please email it to us. We will just see if it is possible from the backend in terms of system, applicability. But again, we cannot commit at this point of time. We will let you know. Just email us at pune.sustainathon@tcs.com.
Okay. And yeah,
Sunil, just
Jagdish,
1
go
minute.
ahead.
See, one suggestion I have. See, if whenever you are writing to pune.sustainathon@tcs.com, that is the only access you have to us. So you can write a mail to that ID. So while writing, just as a backup, you also mention your mobile number in case you are interested to mention. Yeah, if required, if it is a complicated question which you are raising, we might call you. So please note that it is not that we will call every person. It will, on a need basis, we might call you. So if you want, you can leave your mobile number in the mail so that we can call you.
And also just one point that I want to mention, everyone. So this recording, hold on just a second. Yes. So this recording of today's presentation will be available on IEEE Pune section playlist, TCS Sustainathon Pune. And we will be sharing this link on email as well. And also I will be just quickly sharing it over in the chat box, our YouTube link. There we have multiple videos that are with regards to the Sustainathon and the challenges of waste management. So please go through this playlist and wait for a couple of days for this particular presentation's recording to be uploaded. Thank you. Over to you, Sunil.
I guess Sunil had some issue. So again, there are some questions where it is asked whether the PPT will be shared with us, and how we can review this PPT, or where we can get this presentation. So we have already mentioned that this is available as a part of submission guidelines in the website, and FAQs are part of the website. We will be sharing this uh, recording of the today's session also, so you can go through that as well. Beyond that, if you have any further queries, please do write to us on pune.sustainathon@tcs.com. If any changes, if you need, like there was a question that some mistakes in Gmail ID, what should do? Any such changes, technical changes where you need some changes, please share it or mail to us. We will see whether if it is feasible to do. If it is, then we will make those changes. If not, we will inform you accordingly. So one more question came up about poster have a collage at its background and the main idea is on the top of the collage. So what I would suggest is just ensure that you to create your poster as per the submission guideline, and whatever poster you make, you ensure that it is legible, readable, understandable. It's not too clumsy. The text is not too small. The images are quite visible. So all those things needs to be ensured as per the submission guidelines that we have mentioned.
Yeah. And someone
I'm
has
getting
mentioned
one more
incorrect email ID.
question
So that,
privately. Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead, Sunil.
yeah, I was saying that if one student has mentioned the email ID incorrectly while registering, so probably they can write to pune.sustainathon@tcs.com, and they can highlight this. We can address that.
And Sunil, can I take a couple of questions?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So, a few things that we have already mentioned that any team modification is difficult. We will see. And one more thing is that many of you have registered individually. That is, you have in your team details you have entered your own name and your own email ID twice. So that is not allowed. So if you do not email us, by 20th of September, and also not even on 20th of September, by 15th of September, if you do not email us to change your team details, then you will be disqualified. No individual will be allowed. And one more thing that you have to ensure that just one member mentioned that, your, I think your, one of your team member is not available and you want to replace it with your sister who is in UGPG. Will that be allowed? No, it will not be allowed. So all your team members, okay, should be part of a school, enrolled in a school, and you cannot, even if you are in first grade sorry first semester of a college, you will not be allowed. Of a UG PG category, you will not be allowed. All right, so all your team members should be from school. Keep that in mind, and do not register individually. You still have time to make changes. Email us, we'll see, and you have to submit before that. Last day of submission is 20th of September. I'm sorry, we won't be able to unmute you all. I can see a lot of hands are raised, and you're asking to unmute. It will become a little chaotic, and as many of you are available, and we will be have unmuted everyone because of some security reasons. So please bear it with us.
Yeah, whatever you have queries, you write an email to pune.sustainathon. Couple of things. Remember that team size is minimum 2 members and maximum 4. All these 2 members
Okay,
are
Pooja.
from
So, do
all.
you have anything else to add here, or we should wrap up the session?
Hello, Sunil, can you hear me?
Yes, Jagdish, we can hear you.
Yeah.
You can
So
yeah.
I want to just clarify that remember that this is a team event. No individual can participate alone. Minimum team size is 2 people. Maximum is 4. And all team members have to be from school category, which is 8th to 12th standard. So you have to be registered studying in a school, Pune-based school, between 8th to 12th. So school and junior college. So that is all. You can't have UGPG in this poster competition.
Yes, and also one more point to add, that many of you are under the age of 18. Okay, so we already have sent multiple mails to for consent form, which is duly signed by your guardian or parent. So please send us that consent form. After you have get it signed by your parents or guardians before 20th of September. So any submission without a consent form from your parents will not be considered.
Last date 20 तारीख है 20 not 28 20.
Okay, so for consent form, if you are below the age of 18, you have to, we have already shared a document of a consent form where you have to get it signed by your parents or guardian. So if you have not, however, we have sent it to many of you, like 99% of you, but people who had registered last moment yesterday, you may not have received the consent form. We will again share it with you. Okay, and those who have already received it, please get it signed and share it with us before 20th of September. Any student below the age of 18 and who has not shared the consent form will not be allowed to participate after 20th of September. Yes, it is in the email, Divya. We have already emailed it to you. Ruchir, we are not able to understand your question, which you have mentioned that please reply. Can you give the concept of a device? What do you mean by device?
They are saying, if
You,
at all I understood, that it is an idea which they are doing where they would like to present their idea, which is a device. So, Richard and others, if you have any such queries, please mention it clearly. What is the query? You can email it clearly to the email ID that has been mentioned. Pooja ma'am will again ping the email ID once again in the chat window. किसी को
no,
कोई questions है, आप
Preeti,
लिख
I'm
दीजिए.
sorry to interrupt. I think they meant is a device which can solve a particular problem, like food waste management. So, Ruchir, we have not asked for a prototype or a device, but if you have it ready, if you have created it before, you can give us a demo in your presentation. You can put a couple of slides to explain about this device, or if you have a video of it, you can create a video and you can insert it in your presentation. However, it is not mandatory. So other students, please don't get confused, or don't get worried that you do not have any such device. All right. So whatever has been asked, we will be evaluating you on those parameters only. Only anything beyond that is good, but it is not mandatory.
Pooja, just why don't you take a minute to explain how to submit the consent form? There's a question.
Okay. All right. So, Jagdish and everyone, so you just have to email us. You just have to fill the consent form, and you have only have to email us. So we have already sent the email. Just reply back to us on that email. That's it. There is no place to upload it. Yes, you can include the links in the poster, but then it should just be act as a reference. It should not be like, okay, this is my idea and this is what I'm trying to say. Your work should be your own work. Consent form is in the emails again we have mentioned. If you have not received it, we'll share it with you again, but 99% of the students have received a mail with the consent form. No, you cannot convert the PPT into a video and send it. The only format of submission is a presentation, PPT or a PDF. However, you can add a video in your one of your slides. Whatever extra or any other format, you can add it as a slide. The maximum limit of a presentation is 50 MB.
Your
Email
submission is PPT or PDF only, maximum 10 slides.
maximum 10 slides, but the limit is 50 MB. And consent form is only applicable for students who are below the age of 18, not 18 plus. No worries, if you have not received it, we will send it to you again. So any mistake in the Gmail ID, team name, etc., please email it to us. Consent form, Siddhant, we have multiple times mentioned that it is already sent in your email. If you have not received it, we will share it with again, by a couple of days. Do not worry on that part. Meeting recording will be uploaded on our YouTube channel, and we will also be sharing the link with you on Monday over email. Any copyrighted images, okay, will be disqualified. That is, the entire entry will be disqualified. Any copyrighted idea that you have just completely copy pasted somebody else's idea, or a poster that is available on a Google, you just have entered it as your image and mentioned few points here and there, will also be disqualified. So do not rely on Google images, even if they're non-copyrighted images, and if you're not 100% sure about it, don't go ahead with that. Try to create your own images, draw it out, and please remember that we are not giving marks over here based on your drawing skills. It is just on the way you are trying to create the awareness, you're trying to find a solution around the problem. Even if you have poor drawing skills, don't worry. Just that your ideas and whatever you are trying to represent in your poster is clear enough. No, you cannot, Durga, you cannot put a video in place of a challenge description. You have to write it. You can also add a video, but you need to have some text format of it.
Let me just repeat this whole concept, what this competition is all about. This is about spreading awareness about waste management and creating the mindset in citizens that my waste means मेरा कचरा मेरी जिम्मेदारी है. My waste is my responsibility. For that, to make that awareness, to sensitize people about this, you will have to become creative and create ideas. Those ideas need to be translated into a manual or digital poster. And if it is a manual poster, take the photo and finally make it digital. And to remember that this is not a drawing competition. It is a competition of ideas which are represented in form of picture. That is all.
Yeah. All right. So we have a question by Nisha. Aren't solution ideas on topic of UG PG allowed for the school? No, it will not be allowed. Your topic is only my waste, my responsibility, and awareness. Okay. So do not take up the challenge of a UG PG student, 3 challenges that is for them, and create a poster around it. However, if you think yes that you can, implement it in your own solution or your own awareness poster, then you can. But it should not be that you're completely participating in that event and presenting the idea that is very generic to those challenges.
So before we close again, two important things. One is please go through the submission guidelines again, which are there on the website, and the FAQs that are there. And basis of that, a lot of your queries will be answered. Because there are a couple of repeating points about presentation, how PPT, which and other details and all. The submission guidelines will help you a lot. So once you read through it, you will a lot of your queries will get resolved.
Yeah. So basically, just to again re-emphasize, your first thing you have to do is very, very carefully go through the guidelines and FAQs available on the website. If you are still not clear, then write to pune.sustainathon@tcs.com. So that is the second step. Between these two, everything should be very clear. See, I want to repeat again because this question is coming again and again. So what we want is we want idea for creating awareness. So we are not looking for some specific solution to solve some waste management problem. We are looking at ideas as to how to create awareness about waste management. Ideas around how people will start thinking that my waste is my responsibility. We want ideas around it in the form of pictures. See, people are asking about solutions. So if you, this is your call, that no, that the judges will take a call whether no, if you have put a solution which is creating awareness. But remember, the end objective is to create awareness about my waste, my responsibility. Now we cannot explain to you how to do it, because that is your call. It is left to your creativity.
Okay, so there are Jagdish. This last couple of questions we will take. There are few questions in which challenge details. What do we need to write in the challenge details? And then we have one question on other slides. Can we write some measures to avoid waste, and then some ideas? And then the third question is, can we write both solutions and create awareness? So for the first answer is, for challenge details, what you need to write, please refer your submission guidelines. We have reiterated it before. It is available on the student portal. If you log in on the Sustainathon using your registered email ID, you will be able to see a submit tab. Okay, just click on the submit tab below the challenge statement, and then you will be directed to a page where you will see a submission portal, submission guidelines on the left hand side. Just refer that. And then on other slides, can we write more about measures and to avoid waste? Yes, you can add a lot of add more details which are even not available on the submission guidelines. That is allowed. And can we write both solutions and create awareness? Yes, you can. Like Jagdish has already mentioned, it is about more about awareness. But if your awareness is also, creating, is trying to create a solution around the problem, that is also most welcome. Okay, it should basically be about awareness around waste management. And if it is, or it has an idea that can solve the waste management challenges or a solution for waste management, that is also welcome. Participation date is over. You cannot tell your friend to register now. If they have registered already, they can still create a team and apply for the challenge. So I think everyone, we have covered most of the questions. So over to you, Sunil. Okay, so I think Sunil is not available. So as you can see on the screen, this is our email ID, pune.sustainathon@tcs.com. And you have also received multiple emails from this ID and also this invitation for the webinar. So please write to us if you have any more questions, any more doubts. We will try to address them in through the email. And before that, please refer this FAQ document that is available on the main page of the website at the left hand side that I had shown. And the recording for this today's webinar will be available to you by Monday. So we will share a link of the YouTube channel where the recording will be uploaded. So please bear with us till that time, and good luck everyone with your submissions. Thank you so much for joining.
Good luck. All the best, everyone.
Thank you all for joining, and good luck with your submissions. Thank you.